Dear investigator, you did it again. And this time, I'm glad to say that your detective work allowed us to save Zoe. We was able to save Zoe, y'all. We saved her. We is just detectives, okay? Wait a minute, y'all. First of all, I just woke up from a nap, okay? And I just realized that I've skipped a couple chapters here. We've skipped a couple chapters, y'all, and y'all are not right, okay? So, really quick, our suspect, okay? Okay, so our suspect, the who was the person working with the father to set the girls up, his accomplice, it was actually Davis Bateman. Davis Bateman, and I'm sorry I didn't give it to you in front of it because I thought I gave y'all this. That's what the gap is. The gap is I thought I filmed this video, but what happened was I was filming this and then Amayas came over with some trickery. I got distracted and then I thought I recorded and posted this because, you know, mom brain. And no, I did not. So let me speed this up for you guys. I just did a whole nother part wrapping it up. Anyway, the person who was working with the father is Davis Bateman. How did we know? We had to look through our evidence and find out who Daddy-O was working with, right? We already know he was at the bar with somebody conspicuous. Who was it? Who was it? So basically the two pieces of information that we needed to basically identify our accomplice, Mr. Bateman here. We needed this, which was his what do you call it? His police record, his record here, and we also needed this, the interview with Wally Bryson, the bar owner, and what sold it was the business partner. Who's the business partner? The detective asked him who was the business partner that the father met with at the bar that night, and Wally said he doesn't know him. He came in around 11 and sat with Frank in the back for a little while. Hasn't been in before. Introduced himself as Joe, right? Introduced himself as Joe, and then if you look here on his police record, he actually has a couple aliases that he goes by, which is Wendell Scott, Joseph Washington, and Anderson Spellman. So that actually would have gave it to you. Joseph Washington, that's the name he used when he was at the bar. I basically was barking up the same tree, but I got to it in a different direction. I knew that Bateman was into real estate. I knew that the dad was trying to do real estate. So me linking them two was through real estate. That's what I knew. I missed the whole alias thing, but I did figure it out. Like, okay, maybe this, maybe that. But yeah, so the name gave it away, y'all. So he is the person that worked with the father to set up Avery and Zoe, y'all. So yes. Okay, so now that we finally know who the killer is, we can finally go ahead and open bonus envelope bonus envelope B. Okay, period. Let's see what's going on, y'all. I decided I waited and I opened this with y'all. So let's see what's really hitting for. Hold up. It's not opening. We just got a letter. Oh. All right, hold on. Okay, we got another piece. We got another letter. We got another letter. And we got another card here. So we have one more envelope to open after this. I feel like we already solved the case. What's all these new envelopes for? It's still one more left, y'all. What could possibly be in this when we already know who the killer is, okay? So find the detective. Okay, so our next objective is to find the detective. When you know where the killer is hiding, from police with a detective, visit this page to prove it. Okay, so we basically got to figure out who snatched Miss Angie Cullen, our detective on a case, the notebook we've been following this whole case. And where is she at? Okay. Let's not forget, this was the murder of twins, Avery and Zoe. Here they go, y'all. Avery has passed away. Oh my God, please ignore my nails. Avery has passed away. Zoe is missing. Okay, so that's what we're doing now. This is our Avery pick right here, how she was last seen. Okay, so this is our next envelope. I don't know what I should read first, y'all. Should I read this or should I read that? Should I read that or should I read that? Let's read this. Let's read this first, y'all. Larry D. Okay. Dear investigator, you did it again. And this time, I'm glad to say that your detective work allowed us to save Zoe. We was able to save Zoe, y'all. We saved her. We is just detectives, okay? Okay. So we were able to save Zoe. I just wish I could say the same for Angie right now. Using the missing persons page, using the missing page from Angie's notebook to match the killer's alias with Davis Bateman's background check was a stroke of pure genius. Thank you. We never have gotten a warrant to go after him without you. I wish our rescue was as brilliant, but Bateman was ready for us and heavily booby-trapped his entire house. When the SWAT team and I stormed the building, we were met with a barrage of explosions like nothing I'd ever seen in 12 years in the Marines. The rest of the team retreated when the first bomb went off, but I pushed into the fire looking for Angie. Amid the chaos, I followed the sound of a woman's voice to the basement where I found Zoe tied up in the corner. After hoisting her onto my shoulder and turning for the exit, I caught Angie's eyes across the smoke-filled basement. She was standing right next to Bateman, and he was holding a gun to her temple. Wow. Okay. I froze for an instant, unsure what to do when Angie screamed out to me, "Get her out of here! Save her! Bring Zoe home!" Oh, wait. So I listened to Angie, and as I carried Zoe up the stairs, I turned back to see Bateman lead Angie down into a tunnel in the floor. He followed her down. As soon as I got Zoe to safety and turned back to the house, the entire structure collapsed into a raging inferno. We immediately put 5-mile radius around his house in complete lockdown, and the public works department soon informed me of a large storm drain pipe that runs right underneath Bateman's house. It's large enough for a person to escape, but they couldn't travel more than 3 miles from there without coming above land. After the fire was out, I confirmed the tunnel connected to the drain pipe, and I've since explored every inch of that underground system. I'm thankful I didn't find Angie in there. Just wish I knew where she was. We can't lock down the area forever, and it's too big to search everywhere. I need your help. Can you please figure out where he might have taken my Angie? I'll be out looking for her. If you think of anything else, please let me know, Jack. All right, that is another letter from Detective Paulson. I don't know if he's a detective. I think he's a policeman. Paulson still looking for Angie Cullen, y'all. So y'all heard what happened. So I probably should have read this first in. Hold on. OMG, y'all. Okay, so this is actually a letter from Miss Zoe, Zoe Gardner. Sorry, lost her last name for a second. This is actually a letter from Miss Zoe Gardner herself, y'all. To the hero detective, thank you for saving me from the evil monster Davis Bateman. I'm still in shock right now, lost, confused, and alone. Someday after more time has passed, I'll send you another message with deeper appreciation and thanks for what you've done. But that's not why I'm writing you today. Detective Angie Cullen needs your help. Officer Paulson told me how you've been his secret weapon on this case. He says you're half Sherlock Holmes, half Albert Einstein, and he's convinced Angie's fate rests in your hands. I believe him. Let me go ahead to work then. I don't know where he took Angie, but I wanted to share my experience in case it may help you find her. It all started when Avery and I were at our family cabin on Ashcroft Lake. Avery went upstairs to bed around midnight, and I fell asleep watching TV downstairs. Sometime later, I woke up to a masked man on top of me, covering my mouth with gloved hands. I wanted to yell to Avery for help, but before I could make a noise, he had pinned me down and taped my mouth shut. As he tied my feet together, I looked up the stairs and saw Avery's face. Of course, I'll never forget that moment, the look she gave me. He must have seen her too, because as soon as he finished tying my feet together, he walked upstairs into the room where she was hiding. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I heard a struggle for a few moments, but the noises got quieter until eventually he came back down the stairs alone. I tried to fight as he dragged me out the front door, but I was tied up and could only do so much. Eventually, he stuffed me into his trunk and drove away. When the trunk opened, we were inside a garage. It was Bateman's house, I now know. He put a bag over my head, threw me down a set of basement stairs, and said if I moved even an inch, he'd kill me on the spot. I believed him. Then he shut the door and left me. I had just about given up hope when Bateman suddenly burst through the basement door again with a woman I didn't know, also bound and gagged. He threw her next to me and she hit her head really hard. Her eyes went wide when she saw me and then slowly rolled into the back of her head. It was Angie. As the hours passed, we were able to whisper to each other. I'm not sure how much time went by, but it felt like years. We were planning an escape when the explosion started. Just after the first blast, Bateman rushed down the stairs with a gun and said he needed a hostage to get to the hideout. As he untied my feet, Angie begged him to take her instead and swore she would get him out alive if he let me go. He agreed. As he led her away from me, Angie kept telling me to run, but the explosions continued and the smoke was too thick. The next thing I knew, I woke up in the hospital. I'm writing to you in desperation. Davis Bateman killed my sister and my father. He abducted me and now has Angie hostage somewhere. We need to find where he's hiding her. Please help us. Zoe Gardner. As y'all can see, signed Zoe Gardner. So we have a desperate plea from Zoe Gardner. We have a thank you letter from Dr. Polson, but also we still need to locate where our girl is. Where is Miss Detective Angie Cullen? What could he have done with her? So basically, based off of what we already have, we should know the answer to this. This was the new added piece of evidence, okay? So we know that they went down through some type of basement tunnel, through some like pipes or something. So where should I be looking for this information? You know what I have to do? I'm going to have to go to the website, and then I'm going to have to see exactly what they're talking about. And then I know exactly, because I already know all the evidence. So I already know all the evidence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, hold on, y'all. Okay, y'all. So we finally went to the website. I have my laptop right here just so we can see. Okay, so it says we had to go to the website, unsolved case files, Avery/3, which we did, y'all. So I did this off camera first because I'm pressed for 10. Okay, so it's saying which 2 items are needed to find the hideout. So remember, Bateman left with Cullen underneath the tunnels to his house that led somewhere, right? So we had to figure out, where was Angie Cullen? Where was he hiding her, right? So we went to the website, and it says, Save Detective Cullen. Which 2 items are needed to find the hideout? So they have the list of all the options here. Once again, basically everything that they sent us, they're asking you to pinpoint which 2 items from this list will let you know where Miss Cullen is. Okay, so right off the bat, we already know, looking at our new evidence that we had, not even our new evidence. I knew that he left and he ran underneath the house, so I already knew that we probably going to want to look at our map that we never really had to use, right? So this is our map, kind of pinpointing out where he lives, right? Bateman's house is here, right? So I said, okay, so let's go ahead with the map view. So I did go click that, which this is the area 5, I believe. No, this is the road map of the region. So we click on road map of the region, and then another question. Oh no, we got to click on 2 things. So it's road map of the regions, and then they said, where could he be hiding her? The only other thing that we had for sure was his business card, right? So I said, okay, well, he's the killer, so maybe the other thing is on his business card. So I did choose that. So I chose the road map, and I chose Bateman's Properties website, okay? And then once I chose those two options, another question came up for me, which means that that question was right. The next question is asking you, can y'all see, where do you think Bateman is hiding? Right? And they have a list of these addresses. So what I did was I actually went to Bateman's website. So we went to Bateman's website, right? And he has a list of vacant properties. So I clicked on the list of vacant properties, right? So they showing me these 6 locations of the vacant houses that he has. So what I did was I took my map and I said, okay, which area, which house is located where closest to his house? Remember, because he went underneath the house and he would have been able to get there through the pipage, right? So the closest place I'm seeing here is Fowler. He's close to Fowler and he's close to Woodbury. So I look at my list of addresses and I see if I have any residences that's close to Fowler or Woodbury. And I see he actually has an address at 54 Confurious Way, Fowler. So I said, okay, it must be there because it has to be that walking distance, right? So we went ahead and we clicked that option. 54 Confurious Way. Check your answer. And lo and behold, y'all, we have done it. Bateman escaped to the vacant home near his property. Let's see. Are we allowed? YouTube, are you going to get me if I play this? I got to play this for the people because we solved the case. Let's go.
The city of Portland breathed a sigh of relief tonight as police apprehended a killer and rescued one of their own, Detective Angie Cullen. The rescue marks the conclusion of an extraordinary situation that seems more appropriate on a Hollywood movie screen.
I do not own the copyright, but we solved that case.
Days ago, when real estate developer Davis Bateman murdered 19-year-old Avery Gardner. He also kidnapped her twin sister Zoe from their family's lake house in Davenport. Lead investigator, Detective Angie Cullen, was hot on the trail when she, too, was abducted by the killer. Police tracked them to a mansion in Woodbury, where a massive firefight ensued between Bateman and the SWAT team. Officers saved Zoe Gardner, but Bateman escaped using Detective Cullen as a hostage. That's when an independent investigator led police directly to Bateman's hideout, where they were able to rescue Detective Cullen and arrest Bateman for murder. Later in the program, we'll have an interview with Officer Jack Paulson, who explains how the case was solved using his secret weapon, an independent investigator who helped police solve the case.
That me. That be us, okay? Yes, y'all. So y'all heard it here today. It says, nice work, detective. She had it all. I don't know if y'all seen that, but that's exactly what it said. All right. Okay, y'all, so we are officially done solving the case. I'm so sorry. Okay, y'all, so we are opening our final envelope, which they said after we figure out objective 3, then open this envelope. And we already figured out objective 3, right? Because we found Miss Zoe, Avery, may she rest well. We found Miss Zoe, and we found Detective Angie. So we can go ahead and open our final envelope C, guys. Which I almost forgot about this. Like, I solved the case and was like, we're done. We're done. All right, let's see. Okay, so right off the bat, we have a final letter. Here we go, a final letter. We have a voluntary confession from Davis Bateman. We have a photo of Angie here. Looks like a crime scene here. All right, guys, so this is it. Let's read what's going on here. Okay. And once again, I don't know what to read first. Here we go. Let's try this. Okay. Let's read the voluntary confession from Davis Bateman. So, my name's Davis Bateman. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to give this to y'all. Okay. My name's Davis Bateman, and I killed Avery Gardner. I also killed Frank Gardner. Oh, he was busy. Kidnapped Zoe Gardner. God damn, he was busy. And abducted Detective Cullen. He was busy. Okay, it was never supposed to come this far. I had no intentions of killing anyone. The plan, which Frank Gardner and I came up with together, was supposed to play out differently, but things got out of hand quickly. And I wish I'd never gotten involved in this deal. Okay. Gardner and I came up with together was supposed to play out differently, but things got out of hand quickly, and I wish I'd never gotten involved in his deal. I had to reread that, y'all. We need to read to understand. Okay, I met Frank Gardner a week ago at his ex-wife's home in Davenport, 5 Lakeshore Drive. I came to the door because I was interested in buying the land it sat on. Frank said he'd sell in a heartbeat, but was no longer the owner. His ex was, and she never sell. Apparently, she says the fond memories it holds are priceless. It's hard for me to take no for an answer, and I jokingly asked him what the price would be if it held some not so fond memories too. That's when the conversation took a darker tone. I want to say turn, as you can see. Darker tone. I could make millions developing there, and Frank needed cash in a bad way. We met a couple more times and came up with a plan. No one should have gotten hurt. Or rather I would just spook the family a bit, make them feel they're safe haven. Okay, wait a minute. These words are a little weird. Okay. Where was I at? Not so fine memories. I could make millions develop in there. Okay. No one should have gotten hurt. Rather I would just spook the family a bit. Make them feel their safe haven was anything but. So scare them out of the house. Make them feel like, okay, this is not a safe place to be. Got it. Then they'd sell to me, and I'd pay Frank a very generous rate to demolish the house. The plan was to tie up the girls and scare them a little. We figured a few hours of fearing for their lives is all it will take to put a stain on these priceless memories. Dang, y'all rude or whatever. That's all that was supposed to happen, and it would have worked if Avery hadn't ruined everything. I had to kill her because she fought back. That girl wouldn't give up, and strangling her was the only way I could stop her. Murderer. Okay. I knew Frank would go straight to the cops if I killed his other daughter, too. So I took her back to my house as a bargaining chip. I met Frank at his apartment and made him an offer. Keep his mouth shut or lose the other daughter. I didn't like his counteroffer, and our negotiations fell apart, leaving me no choice but to take him out, too. Just after I finished with him, who knocked on the door but some snoop detective? I hid in the closet when she kicked the door in, and I snuck up behind her while she was trying to revive Frank. I thought she might also be worth more alive than dead, so I brought her to my basement with the other girl. I had some time to prepare before the SWAT team arrived, and fortunately, those preparations bought me just enough time to escape to one of my nearby vacant homes with the detective as a hostage. I was going to keep her alive in the shed for a few weeks until I was ready to make my run to the border, but that plan went out the window as soon as the SWAT team stormed the house. I don't know how you tracked us to that vacant building, but I guess it doesn't matter. If only that blasted girl hadn't fought back, no one would have gotten hurt, and I would have gotten my lakefront property. It's a shame what happened. Those condos would have been beautiful. All this lost, and you still only worry about those condos, sir. So that's why our girl died, y'all, for the sake of his condos. Okay? Ridiculous. Okay, so dear detective, I'm not sure what to say, but Zoe Gardner and I are only alive today because of your intelligence and persistence. I cannot thank you enough. That's us, y'all. Take it on. Take it on. And that evil predator, Davis Bateman, will spend the rest of his life behind bars thanks to you. I have choked the life out of him myself if I just gotten the chance. To be honest, I was a bit worried that Officer Paulson wouldn't be able to track me down. He's more brawn than brains, but he knew enough to get my notebook to a genius like you, and the rest is history. Gotta love a guy who's willing to ask for help when he needs it. Most are afraid to. You heard that, ladies? Even they know this. Even they know. On a detective case, on the case. They know, man. All right. He sure asked for a lot of help now that Sergeant Andres promoted him to detective. Mr. Paulson got a little raise or whatever. Promoted him to detective, and he's my new partner. That's a conflict of interest. He's coming along, and I'm not sure it's great for our personal relationship, but we're still getting hitched next spring. I included a picture of us working a case with Humberto. I understand Zoe and her mother are getting along okay. I can't imagine what they're going through, but I hope time will help bring them peace and strength. Forever thanks, Detective Angie Cullen. P.S. Thought you might be interested to hear that we also caught the serial killer responsible for killing Roxanne Needle and several other women who went missing in Davenport up in Washington. The Washington State Police matched DNA from one of their crime scenes with some DNA we pulled off Lenny Nelson's hospital ID card. And he wound up confessing to several murders over the course of the last decade. Wow. Remember that newspaper clipping we was talking about, and I told y'all how on the other side of that clipping it was a girl that was missing for a year? And remember there was some speculation and some talk about them having some murders up in Washington not too far away? So one of our suspects, y'all, our patient, Lenny. Let me see. Anyway, we're done. But Lenny was the killer. So he wasn't the killer for our case, but he was the killer for somebody else's. So boom. Okay, so this was the picture of Angie Cullen and Davis, was it Paulson, Detective Paulson. Now these are the people that we saved, the woman that we saved and the guy who was writing to us the whole time. He made detective. So yay, congratulations to us, detectives, SVU detectives, Inspector Gadgets, you know, whatever you want to call us. We have solved this case, period. Done solving the case. I'm so sorry that I stretched it out like this for y'all. I just was doing a few things in between, and then, you know, y'all letting me know that y'all actually want the content also does help. If y'all love the Unsolved Case Files video, please go ahead and like the video, hit the thumbs up, or go ahead and comment down below so we can keep the series going. Because if y'all not interested, you know, because I'm a detective. I'm a detective all the time. Even if I ain't getting paid, I'm a detective. I'm a detective at home. I'm a detective when it comes to these kids. I'm a detective when it comes to these men. I'm a detective when it comes to my funds. I'm a detective, okay? So y'all gotta let me know what y'all feeling. If y'all here for it, if y'all not, what's the vibes? Like, what's the vibes? So I'm so happy we finally solved this case, y'all. Yes! Oh my goodness. And in light of wrapping this case up, y'all, I want to thank you guys so much for over 800 subscribers, guys. Like, I cannot even believe it. I'm so thrilled about it. It took me a while to get here, but once I found that niche and my audience, it's just been nothing but love from there. So I appreciate you guys so much. For those of you who took the time to subscribe to the channel and who's checking out any of my other videos, my hauls, and I just appreciate you guys so much. Let's keep growing. Let's keep glowing. All 2022 into 2023. Let's get it. Again, thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you enjoy it, if you want to see more. Until next time, guys, Detective She Have It All, signing out.